These are some Lego minifigures that have bleed through. If you don't know what that is, that's whenever Lego tries to print a lighter color on top of a darker color. And so it just turns out being either like a really muted color or pink. Or just any other color really, but so yeah, let's just take a look at the minifigures that have this problem. The most famous example in recent memory is Commander Fox because of the pink torso, which just makes the figure look really bad. Makes it from a 7 out of 10 to a 3 out of 10 in my opinion. So that does really suck, and Lego really should have done something about it, but instead they just put the figure out in the gunship. Now a figure that doesn't get talked about enough for having bleed through is actually the ARC Trooper. Because on the legs are a little bit of pink, but not as many people notice it because it has a waist cape. And the Bomb Squad Trooper on the helmet, you can see it, the white just looks like really, like, I wouldn't say pink, but it just looks weird. This Ben Kenobi figure has it pretty bad too. Ahsoka Tano has it on her arms. The first time I ever encountered bleed through that was noticeable to me was on Captain America, because they decided they wanted to start using like a blue headpiece and then print the face onto it so the mask would look more seamless. And I think that's a good idea, but terrible in execution because the face looks gray. So what are you supposed to do there? Cyclops has it on his face too, and it just looks pretty sad. For Rogue, it isn't terrible, but I wouldn't say it's good either because her torso just looks really weird with the legs. And yeah, I mean, like, you know, it's not as bad as, say, Captain America or Commander Fox, but it is still pretty bad. The newer non-dual molded leg Wolverine figure has it too, and it's just kind of sad because, you know, Wolverine's one of, if not Marvel's most iconic characters, and just for him to end up looking like that on his legs, it's kind of sad. You know what? I'm starting to notice a pattern with this set. Captain America has it on his torso, but it's not as bad. She-Hulk has it with the little white details on the black parts of her outfit. Now, there are so many figures that have the bleed through that it's too hard to go through, but for most figures, it's just like a little portion of skin showing right here. Now, what Lego did back in the 2010s is I think they would print darker colors where the bleed through would be, so it makes the figures look tan, which is very inaccurate, and it makes it look really weird. To be fair, the bleed through looks really weird, just I don't think it looks as weird. But you can see, like, oh, there's his face, and then he has a dark tan, and so that's just really weird. And on Batman, it looks really weird, which is why Lego had to make the new Batman cowl, so there wouldn't be any bleed through. Heck, Lego sets aren't even safe. The cockpit of the Ahsoka Jedi Interceptor has the bleed through and it looks a little off. Same with the Ghost, you can see the printing looks very faded. Heck, even stickers have this problem. It's really sad because Lego had to like completely swap out the color of the cockpit, so it's kind of sad. So we've talked about the problem. How do we fix it? Well, so instead of what Lego does, printing on the torso just once, start printing on the torso twice for the figures that need it, like Cyclops, Commander Fox, She-Hulk, and all of the other figures I've shown off in this video, and many more. And so then it would either come out as a little darker, which I think would look much better than pink on a Clone Trooper, or it actually look right and the figure goes from a 3 out of 10 to a 7 out of 10. But yeah, be sure to tell me your thoughts in the comments section below. If you're new around here, please consider subscribing, because if I get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I'll do a toothpaste review.